Gordon Ryan and Vagner Rocha have clashed multiple times over the years, but this one stands out. It's by far the most competitive, the most intense, and the most exciting match they ever had. Let's start right away because it will only get better and better. Gordon Ryan is pulling guard straight away, which is expected because he was mainly a guard player at that time. Vagner is looking for an opportunity to step into the guard of Gordon. Gordon is trying to get that half butterfly guard going, but Vagner is keeping his knees close, you see. Watch the left knee of Vagner, how he's keeping it close. But Gordon pummeled his right leg into it. That was very nice. Rocha will do this a lot, like completely engage and then completely disengage. But he doesn't mind getting stuck into guards. Like he will go straight into the guard and try to pass from there. Now reverse de la Hiva for Gordon. Let's see if he will try to spin under Rocha. He's underhooking that left leg of Rocha, but Rocha is hugging his head, which is making it harder for Gordon to go under him. Also pushing the knee of Gordon down, so it's hard to get like a good elevation of Rocha. Rocha is putting a lot of pressure from this position. Yeah, and now he completely goes back again. But I think Gordon pushed him. He didn't like that position a lot. Which is very rare because that is a very good position for Gordon. He likes to play that reverse de la Hiva. But he felt pressure at this time. Okay, let's see now de la Hiva. Maybe he can elevate him with that right foot of his. Yeah, Rocha is stripping everything down. That was very good ankle sweep attempt, but it didn't work. Okay, now Gordon has a single leg X entry. Maybe he can do something from here. He's looking for a heel exposure. Rocha is trying to defend sitting on his right hip and opening his right knee to hide the heel. And now he's going up again. Gordon is using that Achilles grip, which is very hard to strip. So let's see how Rocha will deal with this. Yeah, just completely stepping out of it. That was amazing. Yeah, again, scooting inwards, Gordon is. Yeah, he really likes this reverse de la Hiva. But I think it's because Rocha is not allowing him to put that right butterfly hook in. So he's forced to play this reverse de la Hiva. You see, he's trying to pummel that right butterfly hook in, and Rocha completely disengages from the position. Again, butterfly guard for Gordon. Watch the head position of Rocha. It's very good. He's always in the middle of the chest of Gordon. But now this is a better position for Gordon. But he's flat on his back. So he really needs to choose a side and go from there. Let's see. Now he lost that left hook of his. Maybe Gordon can get into single leg X from here, but yeah, Rocha is completely disengaging. Maybe backstepping from this position. This is a very good position in the gi, but in no gi it's hard to maintain those grips because you don't have the gi. That collar is very important from that backstep position. Rocha pushing Gordon aggressively to play in supine, but let's see. Again into this like reverse de la Hiva knee shield position. And now Rocha is putting more and more pressure. That was very good. Hugging the head of Gordon. Yeah, at this time Gordon was not that good at keeping his head safe. That was amazing. Yeah, you never want to let people hug your head. And now he's in side control going north-south. Yeah, but Gordon recovered completely. Again, de la Hiva for Gordon. It's interesting how Rocha doesn't mind being in this position. He likes to put pressure straight from there. And maybe like force headquarters position. Okay, knee shield now. Yeah, Rocha really doesn't mind being in this position. Just putting head pressure and trying to hug the head of Gordon all the time. I think it will be very smart for Gordon to just stand up and play butterfly guard seated instead of supine. That was very nice sweep attempt, but it didn't work. Gordon having that double underhook. Now transitioning into double ankle sweep. That was very good. But Rocha now managed to get an underhook. But Gordon used that to get into single leg kicks. That was amazing. Let's see, looking for a heel exposure, but Rocha is very good at hiding his heel and putting pressure from the top. Like, look how he's standing straight away. Also, Gordon is very good at like deep balancing Rocha and not being able for him to put pressure on Gordon. He's always moving Rocha. That like running away from single leg kicks is very good. He negated Gordon from that position 2 times in a row. And now again hugging the head of Gordon, moving side to side, let's see. He has very good pressure from this position. It's very interesting to watch. Now Gordon again going for this maybe false rip entry, but Rocha is not letting him pummel his right leg into it all the time. Rocha was looking for a quick knee slice attempt, but it didn't work. Again, just forcing the same position. Maybe backstepping, but Gordon is keeping his knees close to his chest, so it will be hard for him to backstep. Sitting up for Gordon, I think this is a lot more smarter for Gordon than playing supine. And yeah, he is straight away into single leg kicks. But Rocha has a deep underhook and chest-to-chest connection. So maybe this is a mistake from Gordon, going that deep into single leg kicks without having like a proper frames. But he escaped and now he has a shoulder crunch. A sweep attempt here, let's see. Yeah, but Rocha is balancing. Maybe they will end up in close guard. Gordon really doesn't like to play close guard, but oh my god, Gordon is trying to take the back of Rocha. I think he's a little bit higher of the body of Rocha, so it will be hard for him to maintain this position. Yeah, if Rocha goes into 4 points and stands up, I think it will be hard for Gordon to get this position. He's transitioning into armbar or triangle. I cannot see from this position, but yeah, Rocha stood up tall and completely dismantled that position. That was very good from both of them. Gordon had like a very tight attempt there, but I think he went too high. But also I think he wanted to get that triangle or armbar from there, so I cannot blame him for going too high. And again, Rocha straight away putting pressure from this knee shield position. Watch the frames of Gordon, like framing the far shoulder of Rocha all the time, framing the face, so it's hard for Rocha to maintain this position. Yeah, Rocha sitting up again. I think Gordon needs to sit up again also. But he is choosing to play supine guard. They will recenter in the middle. This is good from Gordon going into Rocha, but he needs to be careful so Rocha doesn't like blast knee slice him. But Rocha is keeping safe, like playing this pressure passing game. Like hand fighting from top. Watch how he's hand fighting from top. This is very interesting to watch. Gordon is trying to use that 2-on-1 to gain momentum and get under Rocha, which he managed to do. So let's see. Yeah, Rocha is trying to like shin slice and get into this like hip pressure position so he can smash the hips of Gordon. Yeah, Gordon is again like overhooking the right leg of Rocha, trying to get just into this like false rip and single leg kicks attempt. But it's hard. Rocha is putting a lot of pressure and putting the knees down, putting pressure with those knees of his. Again into the same position like this reverse de la Hiva position. Watch how he's controlling that left leg of Gordon all the time. It's so hard for Gordon to play his main game, which is this like false rip and single leg kicks entry. Because it was so hard for him to pummel that top leg of his. And now he's choosing to wrestle. But I think Gordon is just using this wrestle method just to get into the legs. Because he can go into like a scissor sweep, take down into the legs, or completely go straight into single leg kicks from here. Looking for a cheeky arm drag attempt, but nothing there. And it didn't work, so he pulled guard again. Again playing sit-up guard. Now choosing to go supine. Yeah, Rocha is being very careful. But he's also attacking like he likes this like counter attacks, you see. Now backstepping. Gordon has a good position to get into the legs from here. So let's see. This can be a deep position for Gordon. And he has a single leg kicks. Let's see. Trying to put the hips of Rocha on the ground. But he didn't manage to do it. So now he's in outside Ashi. Transitioning into inside Ashi. Let's see. He's looking for the heel, but he really needs to put Rocha on the back first. Yeah, but Rocha completely like backstep out of it completely. That was amazing. Yeah, you really need to put the opponent on the back, on his hips straight away, if you have those positions. Because if they stand up, it will be so hard to finish that heel hook. And now Gordon has a butterfly half guard, but watch how Rocha is stripping that left ankle of Gordon straight away. It's so hard for Gordon to maintain that position. And straight away putting pressure from this knee shield. Maybe if Gordon goes like a deep half guard or something, he can get under Rocha. But he doesn't really like to play that guard. Yeah, he's underhooking the right leg of Rocha, but he didn't manage to get a complete bite on that leg. And now again, Rocha is putting a lot of pressure on Gordon. Yeah, but the grips and the frames of Gordon are so good. Watch, he's framing the face of Rocha and framing the far shoulder all the time with his left arm. So it's so hard for Rocha to get like a good position. Rocha is clubbing the head of Gordon very hard. I am surprised the judge is not saying anything for that. And again, Gordon is sitting up. Again into the same position. They're always just forcing this position, both of them. But it's hard for Gordon to completely invert and get into the legs of Rocha. Again, Rocha sprawling his left leg back. And now Gordon had a butterfly hook in, but Rocha completely disengaged that position. Watch how Rocha is hugging that armpit of Gordon with his left arm. So it's hard for Gordon to maintain that lasso pummeled in to recover the guard. Also, it's very hard on the core when you force that hip pressure in from the top. Gordon managed to put that butterfly hook in now, so let's see. He for sure will try to elevate Rocha as fast as he can, because Rocha will disengage so fast. Rocha is blocking the entry into the legs with that underhook. Watch the right arm of Rocha. But he also has a good position from top. He just needs to jump over the right knee of Gordon, which is very hard to do, so let's see. Yeah, he just completely disengaged again. When he feels a little bit of danger, he completely disengages the whole position. Again, framing that armpit of Gordon with his right hand. And now he's knee slicing through the guard of Gordon into the side control. That is very good. I think maybe even Gordon let him go into side control so he can maybe entangle him from here. But who knows, maybe Gordon is tired. But now he will get even more tired to get like recovery from this position. So I don't know what the strategy was for him. Because he will need to push so much more to recover his guard from here. And even though if he recovers his guard, Rocha will completely like disengage straight away. So I don't know what the strategy was for Gordon here. Okay, going into turtle maybe. Because there is no point in going into turtle. You can just get your back taken for no reason. So yeah, he completely recovered and pummeled his right lasso in straight away. Okay, sitting up. Okay, double underhooks for Gordon. This can get good for him. Trying to elevate. Maybe he can get a single leg kicks attempt on the right leg of Rocha. And he managed to do it. And now he's putting his on the butt, you see. This is very important. You straight away want to put the opponent on his hips. But Rocha is so good at balancing. It's so hard. You can see like Gordon is trying to keep his hips on the ground, but Rocha is completely disengaging that position. And again into this like knee shield reverse de la Hiva position. And again Rocha knee slicing fast, forcing this north-south position for passing. Let's see, this is a very good passing position. And it's also a lot of pressure on the core of Gordon. So it's hard to maintain that recovery. You see like how Gordon is like relaxing his legs because it's so tiring, that position. Again into the same position, both of them. I think if Rocha keeps this pressure, he can pass the guard of Gordon again. Because Gordon looks like he's tired. He's playing like 15 minutes of guard, which is very, very hard. And Rocha is putting constantly pressure from the top and has gravity on his side. So he's not that tired than Gordon. And again, Gordon choosing to let Rocha into side control. That is crazy that Gordon is doing that. But you can see like he's like letting him go into side and not trying to defend that position. Oh my god, he's trying to get a back take from this position. And he recovered very quickly. That was very nice. Again, Rocha on the outside. Again into this like initial position. Yeah, Rocha will spam this position till the end of time, which they only have like a 4 minutes left. So let's see. And Gordon is trying to get like a little bit more aggressive now. Moving back and forwards Rocha. But nothing there. He was just looking to create a momentum. And he's always trying to pummel that right butterfly hook in. But Rocha is not allowing him. But almost every time he got that butterfly hook in, he managed to get into the legs. So that is very important. But watch the left arm of Rocha. How he's always C-gripping the ankle of Gordon and always framing the hip or the armpit of Gordon. Watch how he's framing that hip of Gordon. Gordon is very good with that top leg, always pummeling in. Okay, maybe now he will get something. He needs to get like elevation from this position because he had that butterfly hook in. Let's see. Both of his butterfly hooks in are in, and he also has a shoulder crunch. Yeah, but Rocha was defending that perfect. Like he hip switch to the left and completely dismantled that shoulder crunch position. That was amazing. And now you can see Gordon trying to get into deep half guard, which I was saying at the start, but straight away Rocha is hugging the head of Gordon. So he completely like topped that position. Again into this De La Hiva, let's see. Yeah, but Rocha is sprawling so hard. It's so hard to maintain this position. And now Gordon is pushing Rocha. If Gordon had wrestle ups in this time, this match will be so much different to watch. But he was mainly like a guard player and mainly going for leg locks at this time. So Rocha had like an easier time going against Gordon. Okay, this is a good position for Gordon. Maybe he will enter the legs. Okay, single leg kicks for Gordon. This is very good. Rocha is opening his right knee to hide the heel. But Gordon had a good bite on it, but it slipped. And now he's in outside Ashi looking for heel exposure. But Rocha is straight away trying to put this leg drag pressure in. This is very good from Rocha. Watch how he's putting that pressure. Yeah, I don't think it was smart strategy to go outside Ashi for Gordon. And now he's trying to go into inside Ashi, which is better because it's hard for Rocha to put pressure on Gordon. And now he's transitioning into 50-50. This can get better for Gordon. And now he has that heel bite. Let's see. Yeah, but Rocha rolling belly down to hide that heel straight away. Let's see. Gordon is trying to get that heel exposure again. Clearing the ankles of Rocha. Again going for the heel. Let's see. He has a bite, but it keeps slipping all the time, you see. Watch this. He will get the heel and it will slip. But Rocha is rolling on time also. So it's hard for Gordon to maintain that heel exposure. Yeah, he's just digging for this heel all the time. But I think they will be recentered. Yeah, it just keeps slipping all the time. They're completely out of the mats. Yeah, Rocha is looking for the like recentering. Rocha is just chilling while Gordon is just looking for that heel. But they really need to be recentered. Because this is a 50-50 position. It's not that hard to remake this position. And now they're going in the middle. I don't think they had a lot of time left, so let's see. And this is a submission only match, so they really need to hurry up, because there is less than a minute left. Rocha needs to jump on a leg lock or something. But I think Rocha is satisfied with this decision that nobody will win. And the match ended. That was amazing match. Goran had a few opportunities into the legs, but he didn't manage to finish Rocha.
So he's saying, so how am I going to use my guard? He's got to start reaching, right? Got to start backing away a little bit. So he starts getting a little bit more bold. Starts coming towards us. Maybe not quite like that. He starts bringing his feet towards us. My God, Vladimir, you've lost your mind. From here, we work in this position. I play at a distance, and I see him reach.